top of the mountain and lads.
What is going? I did not expect that at all.
I was slightly thrown off because right when you were counting down, I heard someone sneeze outside the door.
I'm just trying to keep you guys on your toes every week.
It's working. I skipped coffee this morning because I was like, no caffeine. I was over caffeinated yesterday.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Water. No, I need caffeine now. That woke me up, and I'm like, I just feel bad now.
This is Podcast Unlocked, the world's #1 Xbox podcast, occasionally veering into other random topics, but only for brief moments.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan McCaffrey. That's Mitch Dyer rocking the Star Wars space fighting
is so good.
jacket.
From a distance yesterday, I thought there were dinosaurs all over it. Turns
That'd be
out
a pretty
those are
sick hoodie,
spaceships.
too.
Yeah.
Marty Sleva rocking the cardigans.
Yes.
The Mardigan.
I'm real comfy.
It's fitting you're wearing that, Mitch. I just came back from Disneyland.
Oh, man.
The new owners of Disney. The new
You
owners
go to
of
Star Wars Land yet?
They announced it, and then it's the Disney magic. It was there.
Yeah.
It was suddenly just
It was,
there.
it was like the Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
It's announced that it's out
what?
now.
Toontown was just gone in just a vapor of rubble and haunted nightmares.
Yeah, what are they? Are they building Star Wars Land just like in the parking lot, or are they not anything down?
I think
No.
so. All I could find out, because I found out about it on Twitter, like while waiting for a ride. And I was like, oh, cool, Star Wars Land, and I'm literally here right now.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any definitive proof, but it does appear that they're going to raise Toontown, and then I guess there's a bit more room out back even as well to go even farther with it.
Yeah, because it's going to be in Anaheim and Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them 14 acres, so it's probably the exact same thing.
And Orlando sounds like Anne Orlando from Dark Souls. That was real dumb. That was real dumb.
And Orlando Bloom.
Ryan, how was Disneyland?
It's so good. Have you guys ever been?
Yeah, I went recently for the first time.
That's right. You and your girlfriend went.
Yeah.
I love that place. I got to say, I hadn't
so
been
good.
in 12 years, and so it's my first time going as a dad with our 4-year-old, and I've always loved it. I think I was around 9 or 10 the first time I went, since she's 4, and I've gone I went again in my teenage years, again right after early 20, and that was last time was early 20s, and I've loved it every step of the way, and I still do. And now seeing my kid get into it.
Was it always Disneyland, or did you go to Disney World when you were on the East Coast?
I went to Disney World once. We did a family trip. I was 15.
Okay.
My sister would have been a few years younger, because she's a little younger. So done Disney World once, which the parks, from what I recall, are about the same, but Disney World has
Like
the
Epcot and
the zoo and the
MGM.
Although there's some of the stuff from MGM is now worked into
Disneyland.
California Adventure, which is right next door to Disneyland.
Across the way.
Yeah, Tower of Terror is really good because they have that at MGM in Florida. And
I'm so excited. We're going to Tokyo for Tokyo Game Show.
you
And
gonna do Tokyo Disney?
yeah, we went last year, and
Do
it
it.
was just that was my first ever Disney experience, was Tokyo Disney Sea. And
That
it
place
was
is real. Oh, Disney Sea is so good. There's Disneyland and Disney Sea.
Yeah, Disneyland has a lot of the same stuff as California, but Sea has a bunch of stuff that's not anywhere else. And
Interesting.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go back. We're staying near Disney, so we're gonna get
did
some
the same
drinks
thing,
at the
too.
bar and go outside and go to Disneyland.
Yep.
That's great.
So excited.
But yeah, if you've never gone, go. It's so good.
It's always
I mean,
cool. I've heard a lot of game designers too, level designers in particular, say Disneyland is the example of perfectly designed level. People have drawn inspiration for how you can always see. You can at any point you can see at least a piece of everything.
Yeah.
And so it's always that I can see the top of Splash Mountain there.
Yes.
I can see the castle over there. And it's sort of it's always sort of baiting you to go somewhere, just really interesting way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I ran
there's
into
routes going everywhere.
Yep.
I ran into a programmer from Obsidian there too, which
nice.
I don't know him, and he didn't he weirdly tweeted me later, did I just bump into you at Disneyland? Because he was wearing an Obsidian shirt, so I'm like, you have to be a dev. They're located in Orange County.
Yeah.
So I was just because too often our world is too negative, and I know I always makes me feel good when fans, IGN readers come up and say, hey, I love what you guys do. So I just was like, hey, you guys are a great dev. Thanks for being awesome.
Yeah.
And I think he was kind of like, what just happened?
What do I do? Is this how I die?
And then I get what's weird is he said he recognized my voice and went, because he was a programmer on South Park, which I reviewed. So he probably heard the video review.
That's really interesting.
Weird small
That's
world.
totally strange.
That's awesome.
Strange, but
You know who I ran into at Disneyland totally randomly when I went? Per Schneider.
Whoa. Big boss man.
Boss
Yeah,
man.
I was in line for somewhere, and I thought I heard somebody very far away call my name, and I turned around, and Per was there oblivious, and I was like, pair? And he turned around and was like, what? Oh, hey. And I was like, this is weird that I turn around hearing my name, but it wasn't you. Like, I'm just hallucinating, and I see my boss.
That's amazing.
Anyway,
Very odd.
Yeah, go to Disneyland. If you get a
Totally.
chance.
Go out of your way.
It's so good.
It's Disneyland and Tokyo are the two things in the world where I'm like going to debt to do it. Like,
Right.
do what you got to do, man. It's so worth it. It's incredible.
Yeah, the memories you will come back with are phenomenal. It really is a fun place. Hopefully, we're gonna have a fun show.
We are, because Destin's not here.
No Destin Senpais.
Yeah, Destin and Finnegan are currently watching the Destiny live stream.
They're too busy watching Destiny to do a show with us.
Destiny's
So, you know
ruining
what?
this family.
Whatever. At least I remembered. And you know what? In Destin's place, the Dookie is sitting in on the show.
You know, it's
this
appropriate that the Dookie is here. Destin is not, because it will never be his.
week. Talking trash without him even
That's
here.
amazing.
The Dookie Trophy will go at the end of the year, every year, to whichever Podcast Unlocked cast member has the highest Unlock Block trivia score.
Well, I know the answer this week.
Mitch with a 1-point lead right now.
Yeah, I listened to the podcast.
See?
Damn.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Damn.
For now, though, let's come right back, and then we'll kick off with some Halo 5 news. All right, let's talk a little news. Started off with not the happiest news.
No, it was the opposite of Disneyland.
Yeah, pretty much. Halo 5's not going to ship with big team battle mode.
What?
That, the 16-player thing that we've been playing since Halo 1 in every mainline
The
Halo
thing that
game ever.
honestly defines Halo multiplayer.
The thing that I associate with Halo multiplayer, like this is what I think of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, so it's coming later as free DLC, but I'm not upset about this.
No,
I'm
of
just
course.
like a little sad.
Yeah.
I'm a little sad.
And I mean, the devil's advocate thing, and the reason they're doing it is like, okay, listen, we have Warzone. It kind of is just big team battle, but with more stuff in it. Like, it's big team battle where you can get different weapons at will, and you can summon vehicles at will, and there are little objectives along the way. But I don't know, I guess if you really want that team deathmatch focused vehicular combat, it sucks that it's not there.
Well,
but I like Warzone a lot.
I do like Warzone, but are you so? I cannot do 16-player capture the flag when this game launches.
True. Yeah.
When Halo is defined by Blood Gulch.
I was just about to say, I'm thinking Red vs. Blue, Blood Gulch. Like that's what Halo multiplayer is.
Again, I'm not going to hate on this, but boy, does it make me a little sad inside. Because, I mean, for all we know, the update could come a week later.
Yeah.
This could be a thing where they had their set-in-stone release date, and they went, okay, well, we can't ship a broken mess again, like with Master Chief Collection. Otherwise,
good point.
our series is dead. So what do we choose to cut here and push off till later? And okay, big team battle, so that, Mitch, I think your point is dead on. Of it's sort of a double benefit for them, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, we can get the game out on time and also nudge people into trying our new super cool game.
And also,
mode.
you get another sort of promotional push a week, a month.
Yeah, like
later
big team
when
battles back in Halo 5.
Yeah,
It'll be
I think a big
good
thing's going to be
thing.
the time frame when this does come back. Like, is this going to be in November? Is this going to be before Christmas? Like,
right. Will it come with a Blood Gulch remake for free DLC maps?
They would be wise to, who knows what their plan is, but or what's even realistic. Like maybe it's 4 months behind.
Yeah,
at this point.
yeah.
Maybe it's a week.
2016. Yeah,
but I would drop this like the day or day before Battlefront comes out, in case you get people. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I've been playing Halo 5. I bought it. Cool. Like, ooh, Battlefront's coming out. I think I'm going to switch to that.
Oh, big team battles.
Big team battles back.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not going to leave just yet.
It'd be a good time for like the first big map push, too. Like drop a couple, 3 maps or something like that, just to kind
which
of
we already know are free.
Yeah, which is great because I mean you can have these releases that these new maps might almost be tailored for big team battle in a way. Like I don't know how well the existing maps in Halo 5 are going to be tailored for that, given that Warzone is the focus. It is focused on the objective stuff. And the messed up thing is, like, in my mind, when they announced Warzone, I didn't realize it till they said Big Team Battle's not coming back. I just assumed that Warzone was Big Team Battle. Like, and it didn't occur to me that, like, I just thought Big Team Battle wasn't coming.
Yeah.
Except it's, of course, not big team battle. I mean, it's,
Sure.
If you want to play without the requisition points and buying vehicles and weapons, if you just want to play a classic,
like sort of
big
vanilla Halo
field,
multiplayer. Not a pejorative
that
sense.
is not here.
Yeah.
It's also like what competitive Halo is not requisition packs and not objectives,
Yep.
and it's like it is deathmatch stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, my one legitimate concern with this is that if this is something that they've chosen to deprioritize, because that's, I mean, again, not putting a negative spin on it, but that's reality.
Yeah,
this is clearly, obviously, not as high a priority as
Making games
Arena
is
and
hard.
Warzone.
Yeah.
Will any of the maps be big team battle friendly for when it does come, or are we going to have a bunch of pretty small maps for Arena, like the 5, 6 we saw over the course of the beta? And then are the rest going to be huge Warzone maps suited for 24 players and AI?
Yeah.
So that's my one legitimate concern with this.
Yeah, honestly.
I would imagine that the maps, like the Warzone map you and I played, was big and it had a lot of really cool places for good vehicles. And if you just remove the objectives, works pretty well for big team battle. Like 3 choke points for anyone who gets out of a vehicle, lots of routes for ground vehicles, and then lots of airspace.
But we don't know what the rest of the maps in the game look like.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's my only concern. But
yeah, I mean, I definitely do see this as, maybe removing folks who are working on this to ensure that when this launches, that
it works.
Those problems, yes, like it has to.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. So, and also we have another story about this later on, but I'm fine with developers and publishers pushing things in order to ensure quality.
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time. Even though it sounds like we're complaining, I'm hopefully trying to make it very clear that we're not complaining.
No, absolutely.
Analyzing.
It's a bummer, but it's going to be better for the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sad, but not angry.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
There's a huge difference between
between
frustrated and mad about it versus just, oh, that's disappointing that it won't.
Also, it turns out September, October, November, a lot of video games coming out.
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, just a couple.
1 or 2 that could sell a couple of units.
One of them is not Rise of the Tomb Raider because that's coming out in 2016. I'm going to stand by that.
You're sticking to it.
Stand by that until...
You're going to Thelma and Louise that car right off the cliff, aren't you?
Until the day we get into the office in early November, and I'm like, nope, still.
Hold it. Just drive, Thelma. Just hold it. Woo! 2016! And then it'll be like Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote, where you just see the little puff, puff on the ground. Oh man, I love you. More anger being resolved here.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Tales from the Gearbox.
So you may recall that Gearbox bought Randy Pitchford, who is of course owner of Gearbox, co-owner, bought the Duke Nukem IP outright when 3D Realms could not get that game out, could not get Duke Nukem Forever done. Randy came in, all right, I'm buying this and I'm finishing it, I'm putting it out. Because he, of course, started his career in the video game industry as a level designer on Duke Nukem at 3D Realms. So I love the fact that he was able to go back and own it. I think that's great. I think there's probably nobody better to own that than someone who it clearly means that much to him.
Yeah.
So they agree to partner up with the now former owners, 3D Realms, and they were making some game called Bombshell, which was loosely tied in, but not to Duke. And then 3D Realms was like, hey, no, we can totally use this. And Gearbox was like, no, we bought it.
This.
I don't. What are you saying? And so it finally just settled. It was a mediated settlement. They'd gone to court. Gearbox had sued them.
Yeah.
So, hey, we bought that. F you.
Yeah.
Have some lawyers. So
Have some lawyers.
They had a mediated settlement, and Gearbox has been declared the, quote, full and rightful owner of the Duke Nukem IP.
The 3D Realm statement, if you go read this news story on IGN, the 3D Realm statement, it sort of plays out there like, yeah, we just decided to do what's best for Duke, and we think it's best with just one parent. And I'm imagining that statement with like a gun to the head directly off frame.
Like in The Dark Knight when the newscast when Joker has the newscaster and he's making him read the thing off.
This is interesting though. I'm curious to see what comes of this because I mean we know Battleborn is currently the focus at Gearbox, and then slow pre-production on Borderlands 3.
Yeah, they've teased it a couple times.
Yeah, and then we had the Brothers in Arms story that we talked about a month ago or so. So
that's laying low.
I mean that's a big studio, but I'd be curious to see what what this generation of a Duke game would be.
And Randy teased it when he first bought it as, there was the rumor that there was a Duke Begins project in the works where, it's, I don't think it was a reboot more, but kind of an origin story riffing on, again, the Batman thing. Yeah. I don't know why they keep naming Duke Nukem games after the
Batman
things.
Duke Nukem and Robin.
Bringing back the Marty dry heave.
Throw up on
But man, I'll tell you what, if this project ever comes to fruition, I would love to see Randy Pitchford step back into the project lead chair.
Like as a creative.
Yeah, as the creative director. He doesn't really work on the games anymore in a sort of day-to-day capacity.
Borderlands
he runs
1,
the studio.
I think was
that?
He had a major creative role on 1. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
But yeah, just because it's so near and dear to him and he bought it, like I would love to see him sort of, it's almost like the father passing it along to the son.
Yeah.
The family business, as it were.
Yeah.
I'd like to see his take on it and see exactly what he personally would do with the game.
Yeah, I feel like you could make a really interesting satire if the right person handles the script. Whereas like you can't just do the same thing you did in the 90s with strip clubs and lines from They Live. Yeah. Once Rowdy Roddy Piper died, you can't do They Live lines anymore.
I really don't know what I would
to the king, baby.
I loved Duke so much as a kid, and now I've definitely outgrown it. And I just genuinely don't know what I would want from Duke Nukem now, because I think the appeal of that game is the sort of the way it connects to somebody who's young and thinks that stuff is funny, because it is when you're that young. But
So
I don't know, like, if it's meant for me anymore.
I see it a different way. The humor sort of was a nice sort of perk with the original Duke 3D.
Right, it was totally a good shooter.
But for me, I think what Duke Nukem did and sort of stands for, and what I would want to see out of it if it did come back, was just pushing the limits of interactivity in a shooter. You could interact with the world to such degree for the time in 1996 with Duke 3D that didn't really end up paying off and forever by the time it came out.
Like getting a soda from a vending machine or like flushing a toilet.
But I'd love to see sort of that be the thesis of a design for a new Duke game.
Well, especially if you keep like level design in mind, like being able to change the environment by interacting with it is really interesting, as opposed to I flushed a toilet and turned the sink on.
Right, and
like that stuff's inconsequential.
So we want the Fulbright company.
Oh my god!
Well, you've just pointed out that they're busy, so maybe they find somebody to do it for them.
After Tacoma, they can move straight on.
Steve Gaynor taking a drastic tonal turn.
There's no combat in the new Duke Nukem game. It's Duke Begins. It's before he picks up a gun.
He goes to his childhood home and he's reflecting on
he's
the man he's become.
He's a struggling actor.
Yeah.
He's not taken up arms yet.
The sexual awakening. I can get behind all this. That would probably be the most surprising news story I would ever read. I can't think of a weirder, unless it's like Genova Chen's Duke.
It's like the final scene. It's first person. It's young Duke sitting at a desk and he's thinking about it. Hail to the prince. Strike through. Hail to the Duke. No, that's my name already. Just steps through that. Hail to the Squire. Oh, we're getting warmer.
I'm just imagining your voice is just like, you made me bleed my own blood.
Hail to the king. There, I've got it.
Eureka.
I like this subdued Duke.
Yeah.
Well, remember, it's before it's like it's like, remember when Barry Bonds was skinny and had a head the size of a normal human being?
Yeah.
It's like, so it's pre-roids Duke, where so even the voice is a little more subdued.
Duke at college, he's like a poetry major. He's like in drum circles.
He's in the drama school.
I don't drink. I practice abstinence.
He's straight edge.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would legitimately love all of this.
Let's get tested before we get together, baby, just to be on the safe side.
She's like, that's not very cool, Duke, and just bounces.
She's like, I'm out of here. What kind of college party is this? It's like, but wait.
I'm totally behind this, Duke.
Yeah.
Let me buy you a sparkling water from the vending machine. Let me buy you a vitamin water.
This is the Duke I want. This is the Duke I can get behind.
Does Steve Gaynor listen to the show? Because he needs to start.
Duke, we could do this, Steve.
Oh,
we can do this.
If we almost got that Blinks the Time Cat game out of Kathy, that didn't work, but we can get this to happen.
Send all your tweets to Randy Pitchford and Steve Gaynor on Twitter.
Yes. Let's make the marriage happen.
Duval Magic and Also, speaking of Randy Pitchford, you need to watch his video on our site. Richard Bear Park, who's one of our video whizzes in the UK, is a magician.
You might say he's a video wizard.
He is a video wizard, and he has a video with Randy Pitchford, who is also a magician, at Gamescom, where the two of them have a magic off, and it is weird.
So it's Zoolander, but with magic.
The two of them are doing like sleight of hand things, and I'm like, what is happening?
How do you decide who wins?
Yeah. No.
I guess I should watch the video.
Yeah. It's one of them. Randy just pulls out a wand and kills. It's like, wait, that spell from Harry Potter is real.
Bear Park is
It's like what's the Christian Bale Hugh Jackman movie?
The Prestige.
It's the end of it's like the end of that movie. Like
it's just a pile of bear parks.
Spoiler alert.
A pile of bear parks. I don't know if that could spoil a movie. That's just a weird sentence that, you understand it if you saw the movie, but if you didn't, I don't like a pile of bear parks.
That's going to be how I resolve every spoiler. And then, at the end of Game of Thrones, well, a pile of bear parks.
Oh, man.
I read Wedding, pile of bear parks.
Do you think a pile of bear parks is still alive?
Okay.
What the hell just happened?
Well, you can pile up the bodies in Rainbow Six. Destin's here in spirit. But not for a while.
No, a little bit of a delay.
Rainbow Six Siege was due to come out October 13th, right in the thick of the holiday madness, which is, it's like, hey, big game, staking your claim. All right, October 13th, that's, boom, we're going to beat Halo to the punch. We're going to beat Battlefront to the punch.
Beat Call of Duty.
Beat Call of Duty to the punch. Not anymore.
Yep.
They've delayed Ubisoft, not they. Ubisoft has delayed Rainbow Six Siege about 6 weeks till December 1st.
Interesting, yeah.
Which is, of course, post-Black Friday, traditionally not a good thing for your game.
Same day as Just Cause 3.
Which is the other, that and Hitman. We got a few this year.
I think Hitman's the next week.
Yeah, but we got a lot of games in December. Yeah.
December, post-Black Friday.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I just want to say I completely applaud this, to your point earlier, Marty,
totally.
for them. They're taking the time. I'm going to read you their statement in a second, but before I get to the good stuff, I just want to say, sales-wise, I don't care, ultimately, but because it's not my money, but it seems like sales suicide. This is
100% agree.
Far Cry 3 is the one everybody always says, well, Far Cry 3 is one.
Yeah.
One exception.
Yeah.
So
people seem to forget that the 2008 Prince of Persia game that released in December was the final nail in the coffin for that franchise.
You could argue the whole music genre, but Guitar Hero, I believe it was Van Halen, came out in by then, and that tanked. And December there is an exception to that rule, and until more games come along, it's still just an exception to what is a rule, which is don't ship your game after Black Friday.
Yeah.
But at the same time, love that they're doing the right thing by the game instead of shipping a broken mess would just be miserable for all players.
Ubisoft knows. Last year with Unity, they took a lot of shots on the jaw for releasing a game a couple weeks before they should have.
And the other part that makes this, just besides the blanket statement of don't ship it after Black Friday, you are now shipping Rainbow Six Siege, a major fall first-person shooter, after every single other major shooter, which includes the Destiny expansion, Taken King, which is going to be huge, Black Ops 3, Halo 5, Battlefront.
Yep.
And probably one or two other shooters I'm forgetting.
Yeah, you do not, this fall, you do not want to be last across the finish line in a year that full of shooters that are already looking really good.
There are only so many shooter dollars to go around. Do you really think that, I'm a huge first-person shooter fan, but if I want to buy 3 of those, I've probably bought 3 before December, before Rainbow comes out. So that's tough. They do have their beta coming in September, so maybe that's sort of their strategy of, okay, well, we'll get the beta out there and try and convince people to wait and buy our game if you have a limited budget.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, their motives are solid. I applaud them for doing the right thing by the game. This is their statement. Quote, "This wasn't an easy decision, But based on the feedback we've received and based on our own internal tests, we felt there are adjustments and improvements we can make, including improving the co-op experience across all game modes, weapon and gadget balancing, as well as menu and interface navigation. We're taking a little more time to make these changes, and we think it's the right call. So that's a substantial list. It sounds like they must have had a major meeting with all the leads.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do those every week, if not every day at this point of the project. And they probably just said, we can't do it. And then they had to call Yves Guillemot and go like, are we all fired? And he's like, no problem.
Was that French?
I gave up on it halfway through. I was like,
I wasn't sure because no problem is a really quick phrase that I didn't know if you put an accent on it. One of the I mean, part of this too, I imagine, like, we know from the last 2 years of this generation is a lot of games launch with online problems. And this game is online. So looking at stuff like Drive Club and looking at stuff like Halo and like this is tough. People are still wrapping their heads around how to do this.
A rock and a hard place situation. If they come out and they launch and it's broken or problematic or buggy, then they're doomed.
Especially because this is sort of like rebooting the franchise.
Like this is the one, right? Like Rainbow Six rides on the success of Siege. And if you delay it to December after everything, you're potentially dooming the quarter. Like for your investors, like this could be really, really bad for them.
Well, I will say Ubisoft's never been afraid to move things out of fiscal quarters,
or just delay things in general.
Despite the fact that their shareholders don't like that.
Totally.
But they've never been afraid to be like, nope, sorry, this go into a different quarter. Division, exactly what I was going to say. But because that's a lot of the tweets I've been getting in reply to this are, why don't they just push it to Q1 of 2016? Which, to be fair, is a busy quarter. But the December has just, again, historically been a time you don't want to do this. Unless maybe they're thinking, well, we'll get it out in December and hopefully it's pretty polished. But if it's not, then we can kind of fix it over the holidays and then try to make some sort of new push.
Do a second push in January.
In the new year. But
we've all liked everything we've played so far.
Big time.
I love 2014 E3.
The alpha was impressive and obviously needed work, which is why they did it so early.
I played the Tarot Hunt mode at Comic-Con. It was super fun.
E3.
Don't call it that.
I played it at E3.
Oh, I can't say Comic-Con? No, I played it. It was
Terrorist
E3.
Hunt was E3.
I really hate the name Tarot Hunt.
I thought you hated the word Comic-Con, and I'm like, what the hell do I call it, bitch?
They apparently don't want to call. They don't. I guess they changed it because they don't want to use the word terrorist.
That's what I figured.
So, but
Tarot.
The one other point to make about this, kind of like the real ultimate point we come to, much like with the Halo thing a minute ago about are there going to be any maps with Halo? With this, it's got to be right. You started on this, Mitch, but this game's got to be right because I don't want to wait another 7 years for Rainbow Six.
Seriously,
it's been 7 years since Vegas.
So something else that I think a lot of people underappreciate is how heavily Ubisoft is riding on esports for Rainbow Six Siege. They have been very aggressive ahead of launch of making it part of major events. Like it was at ESL in Cologne. They revealed the new spectator features, which are pretty decent. It's the kind of thing you need in a shooter because jumping between first-person characters is incomprehensible. So they want this to be a competitive game. They want this to live on forever. They want to add new characters and maps over time. They want it to be the Rainbow Six game that survives for the longest amount of time. And if it comes out and it sucks or is not quite as great as it could be, that is dead in the water. Competitively, it just doesn't exist.
Great point. I still want when we first heard about the plane map, in my head, I saw it as a mid-air plane and mid-air flight, and you could shoot windows doors out.
Oh my god! People just getting blown out,
and you could just suck dudes out if they walked sort of into the space.
Big fan.
Please make that as DLC. The plane on the runway, just the not moving plane is cool. It's a good level.
It's fine,
But can we do this mid-flight,
or
please?
Oh my god, if it starts on the ground and then it's then all of a sudden when you're actually going up in the air, the stuff starts falling.
And then because the point of at least the main mode they've been showing is you get the hostage and get out. get the hostage and
slap a
parachute out the plane. Like, boom, if you
Yeah.
can make it to like the exit at whatever, the front or back of the plane and leap out, like, yes.
That's awesome.
How great a level would that be?
I love that.
I'm not a level designer. I don't know how these things work, but sounds good.
I'll instantly tell you the reason that won't work is there'd be nowhere to spawn. Because everyone spawns outside.
Well, yeah, but you could spawn outside and then you could choose, do you like skydive, paraglide down onto the back of the plane, the front of the plane, or the wings?
Pretty great.
Like, and on the top level, or like down in the cargo. I'm telling you, it could work, Mitch.
Would love it.
I see it. I'm not a designer, but I
just
can
make a video game
see
out
it.
of that Bane scene in The Dark Knight Rises.
Boom. That was my Bane impression.
The fire rises.
Not great.
We don't know what
I've come to get the hot. What?
I've come for the hostage.
What do you want? Just take the mask off and tell me what you're looking for. We might even have someone back here that you can just take.
You're a walking drive-through window. Stop it.
All right. A couple more stories this week. This came out of nowhere for me, but I love it. This is, I think, more really cool game design. Mods, though not in the traditional complete like user-created restructuring of a game sense, but they're calling them mods because I guess that's a car term as well. Mods will be in Forza Motorsport 6, but they behave basically like Halo's skulls, where they modify gameplay.
Got it.
There are 3 of them: Dare mods, Crew mods, and Boost mods. Dare mods mean you have to drive under specific requirements in order to hit a target. For example, you might have a power decrease, or you might be forced into using manual transmission with clutch. So you'll get credit if you complete it.
Is there double dares?
I hope so.
Double dare you to kiss
Nickelodeon double
cheek.
dare. You gotta go through the obstacle course.
Mark
full of
Summers
pie.
announcer pack.
That's right.
God, the obstacle course.
Crew mods are beneficial to the player and can help you in difficult races. Adding a chassis expert gives you more weight and grip, while a braking engineer improves your brakes and power. Finally, boost mods give you an advantage by improving your credit payout at the end of a race. You might get a bonus for every perfect draft, or a simple credit boost for the entire event. I think these are great ideas.
Yeah.
They'll go a long way toward adding a nice bit of longevity to the game.
Yeah, I agree. Are they free?
Ooh.
Yeah, they're just built into the game.
Okay. It's not like you buy a box of mods and you get the beneficial one and you got a new challenge.
No, well, I suppose it remains to be seen whether or not you can pay to win with them.
Right, that's my thing. It's like this.
That would be
this
unfortunate.
Smells like in-app purchases.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed it was just in the game, but yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. That'd be kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we've talked about it a number of times. Forza Motorsport 6 is just over 30 days away. Nobody's talking about it because it's just, we know it's almost certainly gonna be really, really freaking good.
Microsoft isn't even talking about it. They're just like, yeah,
it's the opposite of the squeaky wheel gets the grease. It's like, now that wheel's gonna roll just fine. Cars.
Nailed it, Marty.
Boom.
God, you're good at this.
Thanks, man.
How'd you get so good at
take
cars?
This now. Finally, the August system update for Xbox One adds a few little things. Most notably, though, if you're using the streaming functionality to stream your games from Xbox One to PC for whatever reason, kids are on the TV or what have you.
Got your Surface.
Yep. The August system update will allow you to now stream full 1080p 60 frames to it rather than 1080p 30. So, just in time for Forza. You'll be able to get a totally exact duplicate Forza Motorsport 6 experience.
Yeah.
Excellent.
This
on
is something
your stream device, which is really cool. That's great.
Yeah, this is super cool. I don't use it currently because my life setup doesn't
me too.
include this, but I imagine, like you said, if you have a family, if you're in a dorm, anything like that, seems cool.
Yeah, actually, dorm room could be a.
Yeah, I can imagine if I would use this. Like,
bro, stop watching football. I want to play Halo. Like, stream it, bro.
Yeah, a lot of bros.
Broing it up.
You know who doesn't say bro though? College
Steve
Duke.
Gaynor.
College Duke. Steve Gaynor. My hero.
Pardon me, my friends. Might I use the television for a short while?
I'd like to stream the latest indie puzzle platformer with a twist.
I heard The Witness just came out.
I want to play Gone Home again. I love that game.
Do you know
They
of
just
any
released Journey on PlayStation
socially
4.
conscious dating sims? Like the one where you make love to a pigeon.
Have you guys played Hatoful Boyfriend yet?
The best thing about all this is
It's groovy.
I don't even associate John St. John with Duke anymore because he's like 4 Dota heroes.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's always Duke to me.
Oh man,
so.
he's so great in Dota. You'd love him.
Have you heard there's I think it's still floating around on the internet. There's an outtakes reel from him from Duke 3D where he's doing Picard and he's doing because it's 1996, right?
Yeah.
You should Google that. Just Google like John St. John. I believe he spells it Jon.
I think you're right.
If I remember correctly. Saint J. I guess Jon Saint Jon.
Yeah.
Maybe a stage name, not sure.
Could be.
But if you just Google, John St. John Duke Nukem outtakes, I'll bet you'll find it and you'll have a good laugh. All right, Mitch.
Yes, sir.
What can we spend our hard-earned money on, or should we be saving it in anticipation of the coming onslaught of video games?
Well, however you do it, you're going to go bankrupt, so you do what makes you happy.
Okay. I like that attitude.
Summer Spotlight is going on. Gianna Sisters Dream Runners is $10. You say it's kind of a party game, so it's not a re-release of the Gianna Sisters
I think it is,
platformer?
but it is. But it's like a 4-player you can play with or against. So it seemed kind of party-ish to me.
Yeah.
Zombie, the Zombie U Wii U game, has been re-released on Xbox One for $20. Brian Albert's playing it now.
Why now?
It's really why 2 years later?
It had to be a contract thing. Had to be a licensing
you're probably
exclusivity
right.
clause.
Yeah, the game had some really cool ideas.
Yeah,
like this Zombie U would have been a great game.
But
would have been a great sequel.
But what
like
if wasn't the coolest idea the gamepad, the Wii gamepad stuff?
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of the thing that the gamepad engendered. I think like when you use the gamepad, you are at risk. Like I think the gamepad you use
the
to
game
dig through
never
people's
pauses.
backpacks.
It's like Dark Souls. The game never pauses, and so
Right.
you're managing your inventory, and you have to continually be looking up at the screen and then down at the gamepad to be like, oh well, I don't want a zombie to eat me while I'm rummaging through my sack. But now they just sort of throw an overlay up in the middle of the screen. I was watching Brian Albert capture it. I'm like, that doesn't. Now it's just like you can't see what's around you. And they removed the multiplayer, which is actually cool. It was just asynchronous. Like one player was like a dungeon master, like laying traps and zombies. But that's gone.
Guess that's why this is $20 and not $60.
Yeah, I mean it's not. I don't. It's one of those. I don't know why it's here.
I mean, we gave it like a 6. It was Greg reviewed it. I remember. We gave it like a 6 something.
Yeah.
But it was one of those games like for me and Rise. Like I think that game is a 6 for sure. But it's the most like enthusiastic 6 I can ever give something. Like
6!
Yes, it's so okay. I like it a lot.
That's Rise for me. I totally feel you.
Okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool game. I wouldn't prioritize it over necessarily anything else coming out this year or the next 7 days.
Pardon me, gentlemen. Might I use the television? I'd like to try out Zombie.
I was about to say, no, College Duke's going to love this next game.
No, College Duke's going to love The Bridge, which is $10. It's a weird, like, puzzly, sort of platformery thing.
It looks really interesting.
It looks like an Escher painting, yeah.
It's cool stuff. It's been on PC for a while. It's cool. Small puzzle game. Try it out.
$10.
Yeah.
Commander Cherry's Puzzled Journey is a game I'm probably never going to play.
Sounds real sexy.
It's a Kinect controller hybrid game for $10.
Nope, not going to do that.
Don't know what that is. Also, Tales from the Borderlands Episode 4.
Escape Plan Bravo.
Escape Plan Bravo.
I need to play it.
Yeah.
From the synopsis of your review, it sounded like it does not escape the Telltale Episode 4 curse.
Nope, it's classic Episode 4.
Classic Episode 4.
Yeah, we have possibly... No, I think tomorrow. So on Thursday, a spoiler casty thing that Mitch, myself, and Esmeralda were on. We talk about all the decisions and sort of the big story beats and how our games differed. But yeah, it's funny. Episode 4 is still funny.
Super funny.
It's got some pretty huge character moments, but it just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Really doesn't go anywhere. And
Do we set up for the finale here?
Yes. I mean, it should have done more, but...
Yeah, we are... It took one step past where the end of 3 was.
Yeah, episode 3 basically set the stage for the finale. Episode 4 is filler.
Well, I guess I'm going to play it anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, play it.
And it's still like totally...
Yeah, no,
it's
it'll
one
be
of those
enjoyable.
things. I felt that way about episode 4 of Walking Dead and of Wolf Among Us, and then episode 5 came out, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the best.
Yeah, finales were incredible.
Yeah, we'll see.
See, it's designed. They're lowering the bar on purpose so that the finale seems better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems... I don't know.
Anything else, Mitch?
Nothing else, but on the marketplace, the games with gold for August, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is available until... Nope, it's over. That's it. No, wait, that's all month. Xbox One stuff is all month. That's right. Okay, so Ground Zeroes and How to Survive Storm Warning Edition are free all month, which is great because you can play Ground Zeroes in anticipation of Phantom Pain, which releases in like 13 days.
September 1st.
Yeah,
September 1st.
It's real soon.
Oh, man.
Alongside Mad Max.
Yeah.
Metro 2033 is expired on Gates of Gold for 360, but Metro Last Light is available until the 31st.
Love it.
That's all I got. That's
Cool.
what I got for you.
All right, we'll be right back. Do a little trivia. All right, trivia time. This guy right here in the center of the table, the Dookie, is at stake. Our question comes to us this week from Keenan Green. His gamer tag is SpareKeyboard81, all one word. Well, good to know that if you smash your keyboard, Keenan's got a spare for you.
Only 81 of them, though.
Thanks, Keenan.
All right, let me update the scoring. Mitch leads by 1 point, 13-12 over Destin. Marty still in striking distance with 10. You got to go on a little bit of a run here, my friend.
I know. Well, I ended up traveling. I'm going to PAX.
Wah!
And I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone. You're making penguin noises now.
I will miss 2 episodes.
I'm going to miss 3 episodes.
Ooh, that's good for me. Oh, it's bad for us though. Destin will be here.
You can live Skype me in for questions.
I like it. We'll be. I'll Skype in. It'll be 2 in Japan.
That'll go well.
I'll drunkenly give you my answer.
So the Unlock Block trivia, where you can win an Xbox game or code or download or some sort, just by having your question chosen, by making a good question, not too easy, not too hard, not something we've done on the show before.
Goldilocks.
Just
right.
I don't know what
porridge.
that means.
Just
Yeah,
right.
okay. I wasn't sure where you were going with that. I'm with you now, though.
I just got it. No, I'm with you.
I'm hanging in there.
I'm not with either of you right now. Very confused.
So you, all you got to do to win is send your trivia question along with 4 multiple choice answers. Note the correct one. Send it where, Mitch?
Unlocked.ign.com.
And our question for this week: which of the following programs? Side note: remember when they were called programs and not apps?
Software.
Yeah.
Program.
Which of the following programs was Phil Spencer the lead on?
Ooh.
Is it a project called A, Longhorn, B, Microsoft News, C, Encarta, or D, Arrow? You may remember some or all of those.
I'm taking.
I actually know this, and the
dark.
reason I'll give you the hint is I found this out while researching for Unlock 201 with Phil Spencer, Peter Moore, and Seamus Blackley, and I learned this about Phil Spencer. So
The old fun fact.
I'm guessing Keenan listened to Podcast Unlock 201 with those 3 gentlemen.
Smart man.
Yeah, he is.
I did not.
Keenan.
Because
Right,
I'm a
dude.
bad friend and did not support Ryan's endeavors.
Wow.
So I need to take a stab in the dark on this one.
Okay. You wrote down your answer? So you're writing?
I did.
We've
I
written
got mine.
written
I got
down?
mine.
Written? Okay. So I'll go to Mitch first because I know, Marty, you seemed confident earlier.
I'm
Mitch,
cocky.
I'm taking a stab in the dark. I know what Encarta is, but I don't think that's Phil's jam. Knowledge, I guess. No offense, Phil. I don't know why that would not be his bag. I'm saying Arrow because that sounds loosely familiar, and I don't know why. So I'm sticking with Arrow.
You think it's familiar because it's actually a spell from Final Fantasy. That is not a thing that Phil Spencer worked on.
Arrow's also a delicious chocolate candy.
It is. You're wrong. The answer is Encarta.
and it is. It is Encarta. Marty inching. This is getting interesting now. We have Marty at 11, Destin at 12, and Mitch at 13.
Phil Smarty Pants Spencer, they call him.
Yeah, Encarta was like a weird maps
It's
thing.
maps, but it was also like an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Like it had. I just remember because it had a trivia thing.
It was just like an encyclopedia and an atlas mashed together.
Yeah.
It was Wikipedia before Wikipedia. Yeah.
Longhorn, by the way, if I remember right, that's
Don't
a
remember
code
that.
name for one version of Windows that I don't remember which one.
I don't remember that at all.
Microsoft Longhorn, I
don't
think,
remember
was a
Arrow.
code name.
Arrow, Arrow was a thing. I don't know what it was.
Anyway, this
look
is
it
still
up.
a great question.
Yeah,
Keenan,
absolutely.
good job. Again, his gamer tag, if you want to make cool friends on Xbox Live, SpareKeyboard81. All one word, and we'll play again next week. Please send in your questions, and if you have any extra codes for things, there's so many Xbox One bundles. If you're buying one and you don't need the code, please send it to us. We'd love to use it for a prize to share with your fellow Unlocked listeners.
Totally.
Oh, man.
Yes?
Arrow. Windows Arrow is a premium visual experience of Windows Vista. Strike one. It features a translucent visual design. A translucent glass design with subtle window animations and window colors. So it was like the stupid pop-ups you'd get, like the desktop pop-ups and that right rail clock.
Now that you describe it, I remember. I had forgotten that a long time ago.
Do you guys want to go back to my dorm room and smoke a hookah and look
Oh,
at
okay.
Windows Arrow?
So good stuff from Arrow.
got Windows Arrow. You want to take a look?
Arrow did have some good stuff. So it has Flip 3D, which is like when you Alt-Tab, it pulls all of your windows out, and you can shuffle between them like cards.
Right.
That was Arrow. When you hover over a taskbar, it displays the preview of the window.
That was smart.
Yeah.
It was on an island for 5 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. When you alt-tab, it was the sequential order of windows that you had open.
Yeah, yep.
So some decent stuff from Windows Aero.
Can you look up Microsoft Longhorn real quick and just see if I'm
Yeah.
correct, if I'm remembering correctly about that
actually
being a Windows code
a
name?
digital cow with some big horns.
I think it was like, isn't a Longhorn a goat?
No, a longhorn is not a goat.
Okay. Well, the first headline is Microsoft's bomber on Longhorn and other regrets.
Yikes.
Longhorn, still the most exciting Windows UI update to date. It's only like media stuff. I don't see anything from Microsoft. Oh, it is another. Oh, Vista, codenamed Longhorn.
Okay,
Oh.
I was right. Woohoo! Memory still sort of works. Anyway, let's plug some stuff and then
Yeah,
get out
man.
of here. Marty, I'm going to go to you first, my friend.
Plug.
Plug.
I am on Twitter at McBiggity, 2 G's and 2 T's. We've been doing a lot of Metal Gear features in prep for the launch of Phantom Pain. We ranked Kojima's Metal Gear games. Spoilers, Snake Eater was number 1. We did the 41 weirdest moments in the series, and now we're
Just
putting
41,
together,
huh?
we could have just we totally could have kept
somewhere.
going. And then we are putting together the best bosses. We had a big meeting yesterday. We got very heated.
Man, that's a good list.
I cut Mitch. Yeah, that series has some good
cut
bosses.
him?
I did not cut him. A little bit. I cut him a little bit. Yeah, check those out.
Is that why he's wearing the jacket? He's hiding like a giant
wound.
gash over his chest. Mitch Dyer. What are you working on? What should we be
I don't
checking
think
out?
I've got like a big project in the works right now, aside from the thing I'm working on with Marty. TGS coming up, PAX coming up. We're going to be doing lots of coverage for that, so keep an eye out.
Yeah, we're gonna
But
be. A lot of us are gonna be at PAX. Mitch, myself, Andrew, Naomi's gonna be there. Damon, Altano, Max.
On that note, we're still trying to find out whether or not Inside is going to be there. We saw a thing
Yeah.
from Microsoft that said it was,
Yeah.
and then it
Now it's
disappeared.
missing.
So we're working on clarification for that because it's a public event.
Yeah.
You should go anyway. If you're in either going to PAX or you just live in the Seattle area,
Yeah.
Microsoft's opening the campus doors, and you can come play a whole ton of ID at Xbox games,
Really cool stuff.
including Cuphead, by the way.
Yep.
Game is so good.
So,
go play Cuphead.
Go.
And Inside was on the list originally and then got removed. And now we're trying to figure out what that means. But yeah, we'll have a lot of coverage of Microsoft stuff, bless you, from PAX, along with meet and greets and panels and stuff. We'll have an article next week about everything we're doing.
Cool. Brilliant.
At PAX.
You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. Started up a Tesla podcast for fun because I talk about that stuff a lot, much to the chagrin of my friends and family members. It's called Ride the Lightning. If you just search Tesla on iTunes, you can find it, or it's teslapodcast.libsyn, LIBSYN.com. IGN-wise, we're still rolling on our Scalebound IGN first.
Yeah.
We got more cool stuff for the rest of the month, for the rest of August, so please keep tuning back. It's usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday is our traditional pattern with those. I can't promise we'll necessarily always stick to it if we need a little more time on a feature or what have you, but generally Monday,
It's like
Wednesday,
college.
Friday.
You got class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but sometimes you just don't go.
That's true. That is true.
Except for me. I have perfect attendance, right?
Except for me. I would never skip class.
What is this voice?
Hey, Professor, are you going to issue any trigger warnings before you talk about certain things?
Christ.
I don't understand any of that.
Dude,
Duke. I love politically correct Duke Nukem.
I'm a fan of him.
Now we have to get John St. John on the show to actually
that.
do the show as young Duke. We might have to get Randy Pitchford's permission.
Does he own John St. John too?
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't own young Duke,
Well,
does
actually,
he? Or does he? I don't know.
Richard Bearpark currently he won John St. John in a magic off. You can actually trade human lives in the wizarding world.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know what's happening.
Time to go.
Yeah.
Subscribe to IGN Prime if you would. We get to keep working here. You get an ad-free experience
Boom.
on IGN.com. Pretty fair deal.
I went to Jose's computer the other day because he's teaching me some Super Mario Maker stuff.
Yeah.
And or Mario Maker. Yeah, Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
That game's awesome, by the way. Definitely check out Mario Maker.
Yeah. Ton of fun.
And he's like, "Oh, I need to show you this trailer and this video I did with Altano on Mario Maker." And he opens it up, and he had an ad in front of his video, and I was just horrified. I was like, "Why don't you have Prime? I see you're logged in. Just please get Prime, Jose. You save yourself some time. Never watch an ad on a video again."
So go to IGN.com/Prime and it's $30 for 1 year. Pretty good deal, if we do say so ourselves. Most of you get the show on iTunes. Just search Podcast Unlocked, and you'll find us on there. I think that's pretty much it. This has been episode 208. I want to thank Mitch Dyer, Marty Sleva.
As always.
You guys are awesome. Always good to do shows with you.
Of course.
And most of all, thank everybody for listening.
Thanks,
we'll be back this time next week. Bye.
Bye.